co-hosts for the next hour of topical tomfoolery. Because, surprise, surprise, there was more news this week to make jokes about. I was surprised too, but tonight, to make said jokes, we have two teams of top quality, affordable, available, non-infected comedians. And like Animal Farm, they're all equal, but some are more equal than others, and I call them the team captains. Let's meet them, shall we? Well, the leader of Team 1 sadly had to leave Dancing with the Stars because he had COVID, and now sadly is on this show because he doesn't have COVID. It's Rhys Mathewson. Sorry to bring up DWTS. Sad way to go out.
That's okay. I've bounced back this week. I've started training for next season of Dancing with the Stars.
No, you don't. You're out. You had COVID in this.
No, they'll bring me back. They'll bring me back, big dog.
I'm sorry, but you're done. DNF will go next to your name.
Usually it's DTF.
All right, I know you're sad, but can you introduce your team, please?
Oh, I've got a wonderful team tonight, Jeremy. These people like family to me, in that I rarely see them, and when I do, it's fine. Please give it up for Angella, Dravid and Joseph Moore.
So over to the leader of Team 2. She's the co-host of the Great Australian Bake Off, which is just like the Great Kiwi Bake Off, but with snakes. It's Mel Buttle. Hey, Mel. Welcome back. 7 days. You've been on this year already. How are you? How's your week been?
Really great. Huge news.
Yes.
As an Aussie, we've got a Prime Minister that we elected ourselves.
I've heard of this. Oh,
Yeah.
Anthony Albanese.
Anthony Albanese, and I hope he's still the PM by the time I get back home.
It changes fast.
Yeah.
How's your team? Who have you brought?
Oh, absolute legends tonight. Here we have a fellow Aussie who lives in New Zealand, right? And we've also got a New Zealander who lives in his mum's basement. It's Bree, Tomasel and Ben Hurley, everybody.
Let's kick off the show with a round of Newsmakers where I present our teams with something from the week's headlines and they need to tell us why it's newsworthy. And Team 1, you're up first. Have a look at this. Why is that newsworthy?
Is that a realtor dressed as a cop saying, hey, good news, we've found you somewhere in central Auckland for under $1 million?
I think this guy on the left is smiling because he thinks they're strippers.
Is it a man being really disappointed by the retirement home his kids have picked out for him?
That would be so good, hey? Just pop your fingerprints on that. And we go, no, I think I've got an idea. And this is, there's a prison guard shortage.
Yeah, you're right, Rhys. There is a shortage of prison staff in New Zealand. Corrections are, in fact, being forced to close units at Mount Eden Prison where there are 102 unfilled positions, 102 vacancies. This has resulted in an increase of prisoners double bunking. I think actually it'd be hard. I can see why people wouldn't do it, because being a prison guard would be tough, right? Because you know that feeling when you're like, oh, did I lock the house? But it's a whole prison.
I think we should reform prison. Like, we don't need to send criminals to prison, per se. We just need to send them to somewhere they can't get out of.
Correct.
So I reckon we send them all to a gym membership.
Or an escape room.
Yeah.
I've got a great idea for how they can entice more people to become prison guards. They should play like games on a Friday, kind of like Friday drinks. They could play like hide and shank or murder in the dark.
Yeah.
A little bit different than the one at home.
Yeah. Let's spin the shiv.
It's always weird to me that Mount Eden Prison, because it's in quite a trendy suburb of Auckland, and we've got this massive prison. I was walking past one day and I just heard all this groaning and grunting and clanging of chains, and it was the CrossFit class across the road.
I find it very hard to believe anyone is even in your prisons from what I've seen on Police 10-7. No one gets arrested. You get sent home with a cuddle and a warning.
I've never been to prison, Jeremy. But I have been to an Airbnb where the owner was still there, and I feel like that's the same thing.
Well, you know what sounds like inmates is animates, and they've got cages.
Right.
We could put them...
Oh, yeah.
Send them all to animates.
to animates.
Oh, and then we could adopt one?
No.
Oh,
I'll be like,
you.
oh, look, he's only got one leg.
Be a good person, go to the SPCA and get a rescue murderer.
Hey, look, I'm so sorry to do this, but your prisoner's been shitting on my lawn.
All right, Team 2, I'm coming over to you. I've got a newsmaker for you. Have a look at this. Tell me why it's a newsmaker, please.
Yes. I didn't realise you were at my stag do.
I said my house. My house was on fire, lads.
They are all over that horse, though. I hope they've gone through their sexual training, that nay does mean nay.
And to have a guess, what do you think?
We have this problem in Aussie as well because they don't know what they're doing. The firefighters are getting quite badly injured when they have to deal with anything that's not on fire.
Yeah, well done, Mel. A report has revealed horses pose the most risk to firefighters during animal rescue call-outs, causing more than half of animal-related injuries. Household cats come in second place, and I actually knew a bit of this when it comes to animals that endanger firefighters. Pretty sure it goes horses, cats, then cougars.
I think that guy's probably better now. He looks like he's in a pretty stable condition.
I think it's unfair that they have to do something that's consistently outside of their job description.
Right.
They should be allowed to ask one question. If you're like, my cat stuck up a tree, they should be able to go, is it on fire? And if you say no, they get to hang.
What do you just say? You just say, hang on a minute. Yep.
What you're looking for is literally anyone with a ladder. Who you should be calling is hire a hubby, which you obviously don't have because you own a cat.
There's actually a trick to getting a cat down from a tree without being scratched. You have to call the SPCA and get a new cat.
All right, that is Newsmakers. We'll go to the scores now. Team 1, you can have 70, and that is the number of years the Queen has been on the throne, celebrating her Platy Jubilee this week. So you get 70. And Team 2, you can have $102. That's the cost of a single watermelon. An Auckland woman founded a supermarket in Auckland this week, took a photo, made headlines around the world. 102 beats 70, which means our first star on the sticker chart goes to Team 2. Congratulations. Well, as always, our teams are competing for an amazing and one-of-a-kind trophy, and please join me with a chorus of oohs as we look at this week's glorious prize. It is a piece of the sought-after $102 watermelon. This piece of the famous watermelon was all we could afford, cost us $35, exhausting our entire prize budget for this week. Perfect for one single serve of a smoothie or just to stare at from a distance because it's too expensive to eat. All right, time to put away our topical hats and put on some old retro ones we found at an op shop. We're having a round of history now. That's where we look back to an iconic period in New Zealand's past and meet one of the people involved. So let's take a look at who we are meeting tonight.
Of all the teams that competed at the 2010 FIFA World Cup, there was only one who would finish the tournament unbeaten. It wouldn't be eventual winners Spain, but rather underdogs New Zealand. When the All Whites qualified for their first World Cup in 28 years, expectations were low. The plucky underdogs held out for a draw against the mighty Azzurri and even had the chance to snatch victory in the final minute. 3 draws, 2 memorable goals. The All Whites had arrived an unassuming side. They left with the respect of the watching football world. Unbeaten.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes. In 2010, the All Whites managed to surprise the world by going undefeated at the FIFA World Cup. With us in studio is midfielder Andy Barron, who was the only amateur football player there. In fact, he had to take time out from his regular job as a banker in order to take part. We also have in our lineup a champion javelin thrower, a CrossFit coach and an American football referee. It's up to our teams to figure out which one is Andy, and they're not allowed to speak, but you are allowed to ask them to act out stuff. Team 2, you can start this evening.
Sure. I might go over and tap all of the shins and see who falls on the ground for 10 minutes.
I think I know how to get the CrossFit guy out of the woodwork because they're not allowed to speak. And if I just ask what is CrossFit, it'll drive them nuts.
It's actually a training system for the whole body.
What do you guys think? Who do you think?
I think javelin, you've got to have a bit of reach on you.
Yes.
Number 1 looks like a javelin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 2 has got CrossFit written all over his abdominal muscles.
I think soccer player.
You reckon?
They're always like clean-cut good guys, not quite as tall as cricketers. 2 could be our soccer man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so is that your final decision? Mel, who is Andy, our footballer?
Corby, we want to look in number 2. We think that is the FIFA football guy.
So you think Andy Barron, our undefeated All White, is number 2. Team 1, your turn.
Let's not dilly-dally. It's number 1. Lock it in. He's wearing a white shirt.
All right.
He's the only one in the white shirt.
Is that the rules?
The clue is in the shirt.
I don't think that's true. So I used to work with number 1.
Here's a question. Were you a member of the team, the All Whites? Where did you work with number 1?
In maintenance.
In maintenance.
In the maintenance department of a factory.
Yeah, you're a
Nice.
big country and everyone takes you seriously and you don't really all know each other.
Did he in the break room at all talk about any champion javelin throwing or?
I don't remember that, but I do remember he made a potato gun and shot it over the road. And it was a health and
Regretting
safety.
coming on this.
Now, are these the actions of a champion footballer?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. No disrespect, but yeah.
Take back that lock-in.
Take back the lock-in.
It's fine. It's fine.
We got to lock something in. What do we think?
I'll level with you guys. The reason I dropped out of university in 2010 was because I spent the entire Football World Cup staying awake through the entire night to watch every single game. So I knew who it was the whole time. It's definitely number 2.
Okay, so both of you have locked in number 2. Can I please ask Andy Barron, member of the undefeated 2010 World Cup All Whites, to step forward, please? Yeah! Thanks for joining us. So that was 12 years ago. Do you remember that moment when you went, wow, we're doing something big? I presume it was having the draw with Italy, but yeah.
Yeah, look, for me, getting on the field against Italy was pretty special. And then I knew it was big when I came off the field and discovered about 1,000 Facebook friend requests from mostly Italian women. So.
And was that your profile picture at the time? You worked at a bank at the time, and other people on the team who were professionals, like played for the Wellington Phoenix, you would have been earning more money in your normal job than they did as professional footballers.
Yeah. They're probably still dark 11 years on, I think. Yeah.
Even though you're not in the All Whites anymore, do you still have a lot of white pride? What do you think mortgage rates are going to do in the next year?
How did it feel to inspire young Kiwi kids to know they could draw against anyone in the world?
That's a good point. Unbeaten.
Unbeaten.
Oh, so sorry. This isn't for you, Andy. Scott, it's good to see you.
Stay there.
Sorry, actually, Andy, can you step back?
No, stay there.
Okay, Scott, do you do maintenance still? Yeah.
Will you step back? We will call on you once again, but if we can get Andy forward and a couple more questions for Andy thereafter.
Andy, you're based in Australia now, right?
Yes.
How long are you in New Zealand for?
48 hours.
Okay, cool, because my five-a-side team has a game tomorrow. And,
What time?
yeah, 9 o'clock down at the YMCA.
Yeah, probably off the bench though.
Give it up for Andy Barron. Of course, for peace of mind, can we ask our javelin thrower, please, to step forward? There you are. CrossFit coach, please step forward. Wow. And number 3, you are our American football referee. And you both picked Andy Barron, and that was the challenge, so you both get a star. Congratulations. Let's be frank, we all need electricity. Without it, how would you be here watching me and my silvery head each week? Well, you wouldn't. You'd be staring at a blank screen for an hour like a weirdo. Anyway, if you want us to shout you some electricity for a little bit, caption this photo. There it is on your screen right now. Text your caption and your name to 4088. Best caption wins $500 of Frank Energy credit, so you can keep my smooth, sexy Silver Fox mug on your television screens. I, Jeremy Corbett, definitely wrote the script and not one of the writers trying to make me look arrogant. You can take another look at that photo on our 7 Days Facebook page. We'll announce our winner toward the end of tonight's show. Time to pay some bills with some sweet commercial money. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll be right back with around a slice of 7 on 7 Days. Welcome back to 7 Days. Great time to tune in. It's time for some music on Slice of 7, where our teams try to decipher which story from the last 7 days our special guest musicians have hidden within their lyrics. And tonight in the 7 Days Amphitheatre, please welcome from the Phoenix Foundation, Samuel Flynn Scott and Anita Clark, aka Muta. Okay, Team 1, are you ready for a news story song?
We're hyped as hell.
From Samuel and Anita. All right, take it away in your own time.
Hiding in a seaside town where no one ever goes. Looking like a budget Kelly Tartans. A lace expiring like fishes in the sun. Without the sign, I used to land aquarium. This is for you. Here's an octopus. Put him in your purse and run away. Away, away, away. And here are 2,000 car wide. They need a flatmate and they've chosen you. What will you do? Make fishy stew.
So good, Jeremy. Look, there was mentions of aquatics, of octopus, of kahawai, and taking one in the purse. Has there been any wet thievery in the news?
So, you know, is the show Coast Watch still a show?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, there's the show where they, like, the police go and make sure people aren't stealing too many paua from the sea.
All right, so that must be it.
Yeah.
Jeremy Corbett, the show Coast Watch is back. They thought that you had too few shows to host on television. You're now presenting Coast Watch. Lock it in.
I love the sentiment, but no, you're wrong. Picton's Eco World Aquarium is desperately trying to rehome hundreds of animals before the facilities are forced to close their doors. This is after Port Marlborough decided not to renew their lease, and those aquarium fish, the ones they do release into the ocean, will be insufferable, won't they, when they get back in the sea? I say, fellow fish, when is feeding time? When do they bring the food?
It's just like the old saying, you know, give a man a fish because the aquarium in Picton's. But actually, the hardest part about making fish homeless is that you've got to re-break the news to them every 6 seconds.
I heard that Sea Lord was going to rehome them in small little tin cans.
Okay, I just think until there is a proper plan on how to move the fish, nobody move a mussel.
Actually,
It's a pretty cheap solution. What? Just take down the sign that says aquarium, put one up that says sushi.
All right, Team 2, you ready for a song from Samuel and Anita? All right, in your own time.
If it heals you, it fixes your heart. It turns an old man to a baby, man, baby. Making stem cells in science labs that'll heal you. We will never die. Pay the cash to change your age. When you wake up in bed, someone's fixed up your face. It heals you. It's time to restart. You'll feel 45 when you're 80. Oh, I feel you. You don't want disease. The boomers will cease to grow old. To grow old.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thoughts, team?
There's a lot of stuff about ageing there and reversing the ageing process.
There's something about feeling 45 but being 80.
Yeah. So there was a story recently about that scientists reckon they can reverse the ageing process and keep people alive much, much longer, which means there'll never, ever be a new host of 7 Days.
I think let's go with Ben, because he sounds like he's read a book lately.
Yeah, well done, Ben. Scientists at Harvard have discovered a way to reverse the ageing process in mice using a special protein, even restoring sight in a previously blind mouse, and experts believe the discovery could eventually help us live well into our hundreds. And that's great for humans, but personally I'm glad they're making those mice younger using science, because, and I know I'll get into trouble for saying this, old mice just aren't as hot.
So eventually our country is just going to be majority 80 to 150-year-olds.
Yeah.
Winston Peters is going to be unstoppable.
See, does it? Because I don't know that it actually reverses it. But it stops the ageing process, right? So, what age do you want to lock in? Where do you want to stop?
Make me barely legal, Corby. I mean, what no one's really thought about here is we're going to see a huge boom in the number of MILFs. And DILFs. And GILFs. And GILFs.
Honestly, there'll be so many you'll need a milfing shed.
It is great news for us millennials, though, because that means we'll actually be able to buy a house in Auckland in this lifetime.
Yeah. Though it does,
we'll be 120, but...
Though it does ruin most millennials' plans, which is wait until your parents die.
Yeah, not going to happen.
That was my point. How can they figure this out? Like, they can literally figure out how to reverse ageing, but we can't figure out lactose intolerances.
I think they did solve it. You were meant to die off.
The good news is we're all going to get to find out what happens in Avatar 3.
From our Kiwi build home.
I'm a bit annoyed because my plan for dealing with my grandparents' racism was just wait it out.
Yeah.
So now I've got to have the tough conversation. Like, Granddad, if you're going to be around for another 60 years, you can't keep calling the neighbours that.
He doesn't like them or their spicy food.
I mean, bad for you, but just spare a thought for Prince Charles. She's never going to die. At least let me sit on it for a while.
The throne, right?
Yeah,
okay,
Oh my God.
Prince Andrew wanders in. You weren't asking for... Okay.
Yep, okay. All right. For scores, for Slice of 7, Team 1, you can have the number of New Zealand beaches that feature in the top 100 beaches in the world. 2, Awaroa Beach in Abel Tasman, and the beach where the Moriki boulders are as well. So that's well done, you get 2. And Team 2, you can have the number of Apple's latest operating system for iPhones. It's iOS 16. That sounds nerdy. The reason I bring it up, it'll let you unsend text messages. Oh. How many relationships is that going to save? Does mean a shiny gold star goes the way of Team 2.
Yes.
And a big thank you to our guests, Phoenix Foundation members Samuel Flynn Scott and Anita Clark. You can catch them both as a part of a show celebrating the 40th anniversary of Simon and Garfunkel's concert in Central Park. They're performing that in Christchurch on June 17 and Auckland on June 18. Get tickets at libertystage.com/Simon and Garfunkel. One more time for Samuel and Anita. Look at that. It's time for another break. Make sure you grab your sunnies, though. We'll be back with a round of Club Topicana on 7 days. Everyone's a critic these days. No, seriously. Send your frank feedback about 7 days to this email address. Stay tuned for how we use it. Could be a laugh. Hello, you look lovely. Welcome back to 7 days. I hope you're ready to apply your sunscreen and miss an entire patch awkwardly trying to do your own back. We are going to the beach. Play the steel drums! That's right. It's time for Club Topicana. Let's head on down to the sand. Once again, a massive shout out to our sponsor and pineapple provider, the good people at Dole Pineapples. The answer to the question, which fruit would look the most like a person if you put googly eyes on it? Yes. Now, inside this juicy, delicious and nutritious Dole pineapple, I have some stories from the week that I'd like to hear a little more about, and this is open to all teams. Let's start with story number 1. New Zealand restaurants are trialling robot wait staff to ease the staff shortages caused by COVID. I'm sure it's going to go seamlessly, so for that reason I'd like to hear examples of things overheard at the robot waiter restaurant.
001110000. Excuse me? My pronouns are they, them. I'm non-binary.
That is fantastic.
The customer at table 6 is such an a-hole, I oiled in his burger.
Well, hello, my little robot darling. What time do you finish work? Never. Brilliant.
The soup of the day is tomato and the fish is 404 fish not found.
All right, go back to the pineapple. Elon Musk's younger sister made the news this week for her startup streaming service, Passionflix, which focuses on films adapted from romance novels. Service isn't here in New Zealand yet, which is a shame, but no biggie, we'll just make our own up. So I'd like to hear examples of lines from New Zealand romance novels.
Richie held me and caressed me gently and whispered in my ear, crouch, hold, engage.
I don't normally go for men with elasticated shorts, she said as she yanked off his stubbies.
She was reminded of her years working in the wool sheds as she grabbed him forcefully by the waist, threw him to the ground and started shaving his ballsack.
As the Subaru Legacy pulled into my driveway, I knew I was in for the hoon of my life.
This is a whole new genre, I'm loving it.
Back in the hockey change rooms, as Larissa leant over to her best friend Sally, she said, I want to kiss you. It's really going to piss off Brian Tamaki.
The warm morning sun caressed her cheek as he swept the hair back off her face. They stared deep into each other's eyes, held their breath and had a root.
Yes, yes, yes! The Whale Rider, rated R.
Yep.
Chapter 2. Her curly white hair flowed in the wind. She looked at me and said, "Bah!"
Nah.
Yes, I just left my wife at home with the pool cleaner. Next minute.
Peter was entranced by the curves on Katie's body, completely concealed behind a black Kathmandu puffer jacket.
I got dicks $99 a kilo. I got titties $88 a kilo. I've got butts. I've got titties. I've got everything you need. The man Rooter. You can't be my meat.
All right. Very good. Here we go for our next story. And, this is from NASA. They announced this week they're launching a priority mission to explore strange domes found on the surface of the moon. Very exciting. Not sure what they expect to find, but I'd like to hear examples of things you wouldn't want to hear in space. Things you wouldn't want to hear in space.
No, you said you were packing the oxygen.
Why am I up here? Well, legally, I'm not allowed within 400,000 kilometres of a school.
I've seen your search history.
Hey, you guys don't mind if I open the hatch for a sneaky vape?
Oh, hi, look, we just wanted to see if you wanted to chat about your Saviour, Jesus Christ.
All right, back to the pineapple for our final story. This next story comes from The Guardian. They highlighted a campaign from parents asking for more kids' songs adults can also enjoy, or at the very least tolerate. Fair enough, I think all parents watching can relate to the trauma of having to listen to Baby Shark a million times, so I'd like to hear examples of adult-friendly children's songs, please.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and he lost that farm because of a very high-profile murder case against his brother-in-law.
She'll be renting with her sister till she dies, till she dies!
Merlot.
Very good.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down. Oh my God, there's been an attack on London. Jesus Christ. Oh God, I can't wait till they find out who did it. Oh, is it weird to say I hope a white guy did it? Anyway, my fair lady.
The wheels on the bus didn't pass their wharf. Pass their wharf. Pass their wharf.
Heads and shoulders, knees and... Heads and shoulders, knees and...
I think she got it wrong. It's meant to be heads, 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 heads.
All right, play the steel drums one more time. Sit yourself down, teams. Well done. You'll have another one. All right, for scores, great round of Club Tropicana. For scores, Team Only can have the amount in dollars Mariah Carey is being sued for by a man in Louisiana who claims he co-wrote her Christmas hit, All I Want for Christmas, being sued for $20 million US, so that's big. And Team 2 can have 5,000. That's the amount in pounds, I am told, a UK woman makes selling jars of her boob sweat. Who knew? Congratulations, Team 1, another star for you. Jars of the stuff. Time for another break. You go grab a snack. We'll grab our whiteboards because we're coming back with a round of Quiz Never Repeats on 7 days. See you soon. Welcome back to 7 days. It is time now for Quiz Never Repeats. That's the game where we look back at this 7-day period in history, test our panellists on their general knowledge and expose their terrible handwriting to the nation. Whiteboards at the ready, teams. Time for your first question. We go to 1976. On this week in 1976, what did Kiwis get to taste for the first time? 1976, a big year for you tech heads. Apple was formed by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. NASA unveiled the first space shuttle, the Enterprise, in 1976. The film Rocky was released that year. Mel, what do you have on this week in 76? What did Kiwis get to taste for the first time?
Jeremy, I know this one because my mum told me about it. It was MDMA.
I thought you'd put MoMA. I was like, the Museum of Modern Art.
I don't have very good handwriting, okay? I was homeschooled.
That is so you. I was at the nightclub last night and someone offered me the Museum of Modern Art.
Was not MDMA. All right, Ben.
Did they taste the delicious and nutritious taste of Dole pineapple?
No, but you get extra points for saying Dole pineapple. I'll put that down, that's for sure. 1976, Rhys. On this week in 1976, what did Kiwis get to taste for the first time?
The unyielding spice of a mild butter chicken.
Sounds too early for me. I don't think we experienced any of that for a few years after 76, but yeah, not the answer I have anyways. Angela.
I guess it's kind of related to Rhys's.
How did they taste your dad?
He gets around everywhere.
Disturbing and wrong. Joseph.
I went for a bit of a comedy answer, Jeremy. Right. A bit of a gag. Blah.
You're right.
What?
Well done, McDonald's.
Oh, no, it's supposed to be titties.
Absolutely right, Joseph. The first McDonald's restaurant in New Zealand opened in Cobham Court, Porirua, on June 7th, 1976. Big Macs were priced at 75 cents, and it opened its 100th store in New Zealand 20 years later. And Kiwis love the taste, of course. The Kiwis love all sorts of things, All Blacks, thermal decks, egg and cheese, walking tracks, chili bins, wicket wins, fast skis, golf team. The list goes on. The list goes on. Next question, clean your boards. On this week in 1692, that is 1692, Bridget Bishop was sentenced to death for what outrageous crime? The city of Ponce was founded in Puerto Rico. An earthquake and tsunami destroyed Port Royal, capital of Jamaica. And the top song of the year was Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men. 1692. Mel, on this week in 1692, Bridget Bishop was sentenced to death for what outrageous crime?
It was this, Jeremy.
Read the sign.
Yeah.
Stay behind the line.
You get your trolley behind that red line,
Thank
Boomer.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very emotional, but not the answer we were after. Bree.
Jeremy, I know this one again. It was an opinion.
I don't believe women are allowed opinions until the late 1800s.
Nothing's changed, Jeremy!
And now to the bravest man in New Zealand comedy, Ben Hurley. On This Week in 1692, Bridget Bishop was sentenced to death for what outrageous crime?
Going to a concert and flashing Beethoven.
It's really good.
Thank you. All right, what do you have for us, Rhys?
Going on a date with Jeremy Corbett.
He's very old.
Angela.
She moved forward instead of diagonally.
Bridget Bishop, very good. Credits for that, no stars, but credits. Joseph, on This Week in 1692, Bridget Bishop was sentenced to death, no less, for what outrageous crime?
One of the worst things you could do back then, pirating a play. She remembered the whole thing and then told her friends. And of course they had the ads, you know. Yeah. You wouldn't steal a carriage.
All right, no, none of you got the answer. The answer there was being a witch. Oh. Yeah, she was the first woman executed in the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts that saw more than 200 people accused. 30 were found guilty, 19 of whom were executed by hanging. And we've come a long way. These days, women are allowed to be witches, still not paid as much as wizards, though. She's on that. Was it?
Nothing's changed!
I think we got another one.
All right, that's 1692. 1999. On This Week in 1999, what ruined a lot of musicians' lives? Two top films that came out that year, The Matrix and Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Helen Clark became the first elected female Prime Minister of New Zealand. Jeff Bezos was Time Magazine's Person of the Year. That was in 1999. Joseph, on This Week in 1999, what ruined a lot of musicians' lives?
The Feelers released the album Super System and set the bar too high.
Love me a bit of Feelers. Angela, what do you have?
White people started rapping.
Rhys, on This Week in 1999, what ruined a lot of musicians' lives?
I took an actual punt.
OK.
Napster.
Bingo! Give him a round of applause. Well done, Rhys. Was the invention of Napster, the popular peer-to-peer sharing program used mainly to pirate music. The program went on to inspire copycat programs that have since cost the music industry billions of dollars in losses. Napster ripped off musicians by letting people download their music without paying a cent. Thankfully, we now have Spotify, which does pay them a cent. All right, fantastic round of quiztery. This must be what being a nerd feels like, all smart and stuff. There can only be one winner, of course, and our star for this round goes to Team 1. Important news, we are currently out on the road for our 7 days tour this month. We've already hit Auckland, Palmy and New Plymouth, and they were great. And we'll be hitting more of your favourite urban centres for an evening of stand-up and a live, definitely not for television, not safe for work, 7 days show. Tickets at 3now.co.nz/7dayslive. Right, you there, focus up, because in this ad break, we are going to announce the winning caption for this week's Let's Be Frank competition. You do that and we'll be right back with a suspenseful round of Beat the Ding on 7 days. Now for Beat the Ding, where I challenge our panellists to list a bunch of things under immense time pressure, just to watch the light drain from their eyes as they realise it's harder than it looks. And each successful attempt earns a star, so the lead can change in this game. Let the dinging begin. This week, a new list of Queen's honours were revealed, including Di Hemwood's mum, Carolyn. Congratulations for her services to the state, youth and the arts. Mel, you have 14 seconds to name 7 reasons your mum deserves a damehood. Go.
Her apricot chicken, her chicken curry, her perm, being able to use a phone. She's good at also turning the TV on. She knows how to cook a lasagna, and she's very good at crosswords.
That was good.
Well done, you get a star. I'm not sure services to crosswords is one in the Queen's birthday honours list, but anyway, well done. This week, a British cricket club disguised itself as a 36-year-old woman on Tinder. Well, they did that to attract men to join their team. And Ben Hurley, you like your cricket. You got 15 seconds to give me 4 good cricket-themed pickup lines.
Oh, geez, those are nice stumps. I bet you wouldn't mind getting caught behind. Slip your hands into these wicket-keeping gloves. They're moist. Wouldn't wouldn't you like to face a couple of balls down the other end? And,
What was it for?
I didn't want to ding. Go on, give me one more. If it's a goodie, you can have a star.
Okay. Oh, I could run up and down this cut strip of grass all day.
You get a star, Ben Hurley. This week, a 22-year-old Bangladeshi woman made the news after she swam to India to marry her boyfriend, Rhys. You're a romantic guy yourself. You have 12 seconds to name 6 romantic gestures you have made in your lifetime. Go.
Buy flowers, buy wine, fly my wife to Australia, fly her back from Australia. Chocolate cakes. How many was there?
You didn't make it.
Oh.
You didn't quite make it. And I'm not sure we're buying the whole to Australia.
It wasn't just like sending her off like, be free. It was a trip.
You didn't specify that you went with her.
No, she went on her own. She said she needed some time to think.
I can't give you a star, sorry, Rhys. This week, Turkey changed its name at the UN to Türkiye. I hope I got that right. Bree, you have 13 seconds to name 7 sauces that you can ask to get on a Turkish kebab. Go.
Garlic, hummus, barbecue, tomato, garlic aioli, mustard.
That'll do.
Yeah!
This week, a new study found that cows that are chilled out and relax produce better milk. Angela, coming to you. You have 14 seconds to name 7 ways to help a cow chill out. Go.
Feed it, stroke it, sing it a song, give it another cow to hang out with, give it some shelter, warmth, love, nurture, all the stuff my mum didn't give me.
Wow. Possibly the best complete Beat the Ding we've ever had. It had a whole story, had a narrative, it was touching.
Twist at the end.
Twist at the end.
It was triggering me the whole time.
Give it up for Angela. Star for you. You know where we're going with this one. You know who we're coming to. This week, the All Whites lost to Peru ahead of their all-important qualifying match next Wednesday. Joseph, you've got 15 seconds to first name 3 captains of the All Whites, then describe an iconic goal the All Whites have scored in the style of an excitable football commentator.
Okay.
Go.
Winston Reid, Ryan Nelson, Ben Sigmund did it once, and oh, here comes Shane Smells! He's kicking the ball! Oh, and it's flying through the air! Would you bloody believe it? It's gone through the end past the goal. He tried to catch it, but would you bloody believe it? He didn't catch it, and it's going in. Oh, look at the goal! It's going wobble, wobble, wobble. That must mean a goal has been scored.
I'll pay it. I'll give you a star. Well done, Joseph. Give him a round of applause.
I've never seen someone be that much of a winner and a loser.
All right, let's go to the star chart and find out tonight's overall winner. Congratulations, Team 2! It's yours. Enjoy your ridiculously expensive watermelon. I hear it pairs well with some expensive cheese. That was 7 days tonight. Please join me in thanking our panellists this week. Rhys, Angela, Joseph, Mel, Bree and Ben. We'll see you in 7 days on 7 Days. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, New Zealand On Air, for the funding and giving women like me a platform.